Oord, a beautiful planet in constant eclipse of Sergia. Look at it over there, being greeted with all the sunlight. How disrespectful. I feel like landing there, because I feel like it. The first step to any landing is obviously designing a lander and launch vehicle and orbiting vessel. So here I have my good friend Bob. He is simply here for scale, and as I zoom out, we have our launch vehicle. Sadly, this launch vehicle doesn't have a name yet, although it does have a Carolox first stage that uses Apex engines, and a Methalox second stage that uses custom engines designed for vacuum use. Inside the fairing, we have two vehicles. We have an orbiting spacecraft and a lander. The lander will obviously land on the surface of Oord and come back to the orbiting spacecraft, which will then bring the crew back home while the lander dies. Tragic, I know. Not only will the lander be abandoned, but as it is ascending, it will also have its legs ripped off with those separators there. How could this get even more tragic? Well, it actually can, because this little guy will not only be abandoned, but deorbited. Therefore, it will crash into the surface of Oord. Okay, I think that's enough guilt tripping. If you haven't noticed already, I'm playing on a career save, so this craft will actually cost money to launch, and I may want to get some contracts so that I don't lose money while doing this mission. And with that out of the way, we can put the fairing back on and get ready to launch this behemoth of a launch vehicle. Try as I might, I couldn't get any footage of the launch, although I do have footage of the transfer from Drew to Sergia. Although the engines sound very nice in this footage, this is a glitch as they're only supposed to sound like this in an atmosphere. So, sorry to crush your dreams like this. With this burn out of the way, all we have to do after this is a few correction burns in solar orbit, and one burn at Sergia periapsis to make sure that we encounter Oord. Although startled for an unknown reason to the DSC, 5 Druids boarded the lander to prepare to land on the surface of Oord. With the deorbit burn done, the lander detaches the retro rockets and braces for Oord entry. Although things looked promising on the first landing attempt, the lander landed on a slope, and all of the stress went onto one leg, causing the landing legs to explode, so I had to quick load. On the next landing attempt, I utilized the engine to brake my fall a little more, to be sure that the landing legs didn't explode this time. After celebrating the successful landing, Yuri proceeds to activate his flash powers that no one knew he had before, and ran to the nearest source of water. After finding the nearest pond, Yuri dipped his feet inside to test if it was water, and it is, in fact, liquid water on the surface of Oord. Not only did Yuri dip his feet inside, he decided to do a little bit of swimming inside of it, because, stretch his legs and stuff. He has been in the command pod for about, a year at this point. He deserved it. The DSC let him do it. Although his swim was fun, apparently his fellow crew members were getting sunburned from standing outside of the lander for so long. It is, to this day, unknown how they were getting sunburned. They were covered in several layers of protection, but they somehow got sunburned, and that's the truth. After his crew members got back onto the lander, Yuri proceeded to activate his flash powers again and bolt his way back to the lander. After waiting a day for the lander to be under the orbit of the command pod, the crew prepared to ascend. After successfully making it into orbit, the crew perform a rendezvous burn to meet up with the command pod. After docking with the ship, the crew transfer back into the command pod. Finally, to save weight and leave no debris behind, the lander's deorbited. After saying their farewells to the Oord lander, the crew perform an escape burn. A second burn is done at solar apoapsis so that in the next orbit they will encounter Drew. And finally, they burn off the rest of their fuel at Drew periapsis. And with that, this mission and this video has come to an end. If you enjoyed, please give a like. This video took me about a week to make. Not including editing, that's including designing and actually doing the mission. Editing took me 2 days, so pretty quick. Yeah, that's the end of this video. Enjoy the last few minutes of unvoiceovered footage.